Okay, so today we're going to go over Ivysaur in this video. So Ivysaur is one of the more straightforward characters to use so far. Doesn't require much in terms of large combos. In fact, he doesn't really do them, but if you are decent at maintaining appropriate space, then he's going to be very effective. So let's go ahead and go through his first moveset, which will be his physical moveset. So let's start with Razor Leaf. Decent range, cooldown is pretty low too. It critical hits for pretty hard. Then we can do Rock Smash. Pretty quick startup. Not great range, but its major advantage is it lowers defense by 1 stage every time you land it. So that's pretty helpful. Then we have Body Slam, which you can do from any range, but starting from here seems to be better. This one's good. Builds up paralysis by quite a lot. If you land 2 of them, then they're basically paralyzed. Also, it's got some super armor on start, which is useful. So if you get hit during the startup, you'll absorb the first hit. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over Vine Whip, which is kind of different. So you can do it at any range. It's got a good range, of course. The interesting thing about it is, depending on how far away you do it, the more damage you'll do. So as you can see, I did 150 at the max range, and if I get much closer, it does a lot less. So you want to be as far away as possible as you can when you're trying to do Vine Whip. The ideal range will be between here and about here, so that's kind of how you want to function. Of course, if you get too close, you can Rock Smash, and if you want to close the distance, you can Body Slam. You can also kind of do it all together, just like that. Pretty good chunk of damage, doesn't require very much out of you, but you have to learn how to use it correctly. Alright, well that does it for physical Ivysaur. Let's go ahead and move on to special. Okay, here we have special Ivysaur. So again, this is going to be you learning how to operate at a good range. We've got a variety of moves here, let's just get right to it. Energy Ball. Shoots a projectile, lands, or takes about that long to get to it. We've got Sludge Bomb. That one's a little bit different. Builds up poison. Obviously this one you want to try to land it on top of them. If you land it kind of close, that little explosion might hit them. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that to go. Well, I just hit him directly. Anyways, one more try. Yeah, there you go. So the explosion of it is pretty decent. It will do what's called splash damage, which is very helpful if you can land it. But anyways, Giga Drain. 2-part move. If you land the first hit, it'll do the second part, which drains life and brings it right back to you. If you miss it, of course, you're in a little bit of trouble. Solar Beam. Takes quite a while to start up, but if you can land it, then you're doing some pretty good damage. It also tracks really well. So as you can see, it follows right up until the actual shot comes out. Believe it or not, this is a pretty easy move to land if you can pressure them enough. So the cool thing about this set is you can chain stuff together, move around quite a bit, keep yourself pretty safe. And while this doesn't actually combo, you can create a situation where if they don't immediately react, then they're going to get hit by it. But yeah, that is special Ivysaur. Let's go ahead and move on to the support. Alright, so here we have support Ivysaur. So this one's going to be a little unique from the other 2 we've shown so far, in that this support isn't all that helpful to your teammates. The one thing that this role is very good at doing is surviving for an extreme amount of time, up to the point where you can try to frustrate your opponent to switch out. So first of all, we've got some familiar moves. We've got Vine Whip, we've got Giga Drain. These two work pretty well together since they operate at pretty much the same optimal range, as you can see. You're not going to be doing any big combos with this moveset at all, but like I said, the key here is just surviving. So we've seen Reflect before. You put that out, and now you're taking half damage, just so you can see. It's 15. Of course, I didn't show before, but it normally does 30. But also we have access to Synthesis, which is a very good healing move. I will go ahead and just zero my health out and do it. So heal over time, heals about a quarter of your life, and you can do it pretty frequently, as you can see. So very straightforward. Your whole plan is to Giga Drain and Synthesis constantly, keep Reflect out, and just outlast your opponent until they either get frustrated and switch to something else that can potentially kill you, or hey, if you're lucky, maybe you can take a few down yourself very slowly. Alright, that's it for support. Let's move on to Specialist. Okay, so finally we have Specialist Ivysaur. So just in case you can't tell, this moveset is a very cheesy moveset. It's going to be a good way to kill your opponent slowly and survive for a pretty decent amount of time. One major downside is you're never going to do enough damage to be a big threat. If your opponent rushes you down, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So here we have, just to go over, we've got Toxic, you've got Giga Drain, and again, these both work very well together, seeing as they operate at pretty much the same range. We also have Synthesis for a self-heal, and then finally we've got Protect, which has been used on the other two, and it works pretty much the same. So not really a ton to say about this moveset other than your whole goal is going to be landing Toxic and healing yourself, protecting when you need the protection, and then draining life. That's pretty much it, not much else to it. So we'll go ahead and close this out by showing his super move, which is Acid Downpour. So unlike the other Charmeleon and Wartortle, who have both had, fire and water type supers, for this one I decided to go with the poison one. This one is a little different so far, but here we go. So this one creates a very unique weather effect that just does pretty decent damage over time to non-poison Pokemon. And that is pretty much it. It lasts for a pretty long time, as you can very clearly see. And there you go. That's how much damage it'll do if you just leave it. Just for one quick bit of reference, I'll go ahead and switch into Nidorino. This super is useless against him because there he is, being poison type, and that is it. Alright, well that'll do it for Ivysaur. Thanks for watching.